What is going on, Bread fans? My name is Jay of Insane Coaster Junkie, and you are listening to Right on Track on Spotify, where we are right on track for another good time. Now, you might be noticing the date this is being released. August 16th, National Roller Coaster Day. It is basically Christmas for us coaster enthusiasts. So what does that mean? We're going to interview another enthusiast in the community for this episode. And what better person to interview about all things coasters, Kennywood, whatever, down from the land down under known as Pittsburgh, my good friend Chuck Teeple of Kennywood Crazy.
Hey.
How you doing?
So first of all, thank you so much for even asking me to do this. It's a privilege, and I love your friendship, and I love you, brother. And we, me and Rock, just last couple of years got to know you, and just it's good spending time with you and through Waldemar, and also Kennywood too. So man.
So where can people find you, just in case they want to follow your coaster enthusiast journey?
Well, we have a Facebook page, a group. Actually, it's how we started off, was on Facebook. It's called Kennywood Crazy on Facebook. All you have to do is go on Facebook and look up Kennywood Crazy, and ask to be a member of our group. And also, just recently, we just started a YouTube channel. Has a lot of interviews. We actually interviewed Jay. What was it last?
It was last June.
June for Ravine Flyer Frenzy at our ACE event, and Jay was very, very kind for his time, and that was actually a fun little time we had, just sitting down and chatting. I actually got to know you more through that than throughout the years. So, just sitting down with you.
And hopefully it's the same this time around. Now the reciprocal version.
Yeah, we like sitting down chatting about roller coasters, whatever have you, and amusement parks. That's our thing. So
yeah, and obviously we're crazy for Kennywood, basically.
Yeah. There's that old crazy thing that always pops up,
So yeah, in this episode we got 10 questions resulting of the entirety of your coaster enthusiast journey, about you, the club itself, and some other aspiring questions that I have in mind.
Cool.
So I hope you are ready.
Oh, more than ready, brother. I was born this way.
As they say in Kennywood, safety check.
Safety check.
All clear.
All clear. I rock.
And let's do this. So question 1, I asked every interviewee this question, so this may sound redundant to me at this point, but we got to look at the origin stories. How did you end up meeting me, and what impact did it have on you?
Well, I'll be honest with you. It wasn't first the meetup with you at first. What it was is seeing your videos from Insane Coaster Junkie on TV quite a few years ago. I was always interested in roller coasters, and then just in 2019 I started being more of an enthusiast, and I saw your posts and your videos on Waldemar, and I didn't even know Waldemar existed up to just a few years ago, like I told you a couple of times before. And it was very informative, because I got, not only it made me chuckle about this, because you use a lot of silly comedy and stuff, and it's just the way you do your videos, but I got to know a little bit more about the park. I found out about Ravine Flyer too. I'm like, wow, that thing looks really awesome. I got to get up there and try it, because I've been to quite a few different parks in my lifetime. One being like Geauga Lake, which is no longer, but like a local around here in Ohio and Pennsylvania, it was like a handful, and that kind of inspired me to go to Waldemar and try that park for the first time, and boy, that place didn't disappoint. But when I saw some of your videos, it kind of brings nostalgia up of looking at some of the videos, and then all Conneaut stuff. I was actually going to go to Conneaut on my first trip up there, but then the debacle.
Yeah, that whole thing we're not going to discuss here.
We're not going to discuss thing that happened with the unfortunate thing that happened with the coaster and the property up there, that because the park doesn't longer exist in a whole as a whole or whatever. But yeah, it wasn't until like a couple years later, like I joined Ace, and I met through Kennywood Crazy. I met through some of your friends of friends, and we're talking. I said, yeah, I've been watching this Insane Coaster Junkie. He goes, oh, that's my friend. He's like, really? I was like, oh, cool. And I thought in the back of my head, because we already did interviews for Kennywood Crazy, I thought, wow, that'd be really nice to, interview him and get his thoughts on Kennywood and some of the other thoughts about his videos and his YouTube channel. So I kept that in the back of my mind, and then we went to Ravine Flyer Frenzy for the very first time. I was thinking it was 2 years ago, right?
2022. That was also my first Ace event. 2022 Ravine Flyer Frenzy, and I've been going every year since.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Okay, for those who are listening, American Coaster Enthusiasts, they have that event up there. If you're not signed up for Ace, sign up for Ace. If you're
I recommend it too. I second that.
Yeah, not only can you make a lot of friends and lifetime friends and stuff, but it makes it possible financially more possible to be able to go to other parks and stuff, because they do basically group rates and hotels for cheap and just a bunch of other stuff that makes it easier to be able to go to a park to say like Hershey or something that you have to have lodging, because you can't drive 4 hours and then to be at the park. Oh wait, somebody over there has, right? You have, but I mean, most people like me, I can't do that. I don't know. I'm not Insane Coaster Junkie over there. But no, like they just enable you to be able to do these parks for cheaper and make friends and stuff. And there's a lot of other benefits to joining Ace. But back to what I was saying, the during that time I met you for the first time at that Ace event at Waldermere, and it was really, really cool to be able to talk to you real quick and and get to know you. And then throughout the time for the next 2 years, we'd run into each other real quick and take a picture quick, like by the Jackrabbit, or I went to Waldermere maybe a couple times after that and ran into you you were actually doing ride-ups at the last time I saw you up at the park. So
yeah, but it wasn't until Ravine Flyer Frenzy last year.
Yeah, that is
we actually
correct.
got to sit down and talk and actually discuss a lot more.
Yeah, I got to know you much more, and then a lot of your live videos, we get to comment on stuff too. So, and that's about the community of the coaster community and music park community. Just so
it's awesome to be in a nice little niche community and get to meet people young and old. And with you being a little older in the community, you have a little bit more experience.
Yeah. I'm turning 49 in June. I'm getting a little bit older, and God forbid that I won't be able to ride roller coasters.
It's not forever.
It's not forever, but I love that, and I love music, and I've just been doing it because it's fun.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that probably explains the impact it had on you, and it's a great thing. And what's impactful for me is question 2 is Kennywood Crazy, that whole group club that you have set up. So basically, how was Kennywood Crazy formed, and how do you become a member?
Well, I would step back to the originals, how it started, like you asked. But I give all credit to God, because this is something I could have planned, to be honest with you. So in 2019, I started going with my first season pass to Kennywood, and at the time, my relationship with my wife was not good at all. As a matter of fact, it was pretty bad. So to the point that I was just going up there by myself, just to just get my mind off things,
Right.
And so, I mean, how are you going to think about your bad relationships when you're going like 85 miles per hour and a 230 feet down and off the Phantom? You can't. You just,
No, you
at the
cannot.
moment. So, and yeah, I was going through some hard times with her, but during that time, I was on Facebook with other Kennywood fan groups. There was multiple of them at the time. I experienced it every time I would post something like a picture of the rapids, and I said, "Oh, do you remember the water fountain? It would get erased." Oh, why are you erasing that? Oh, we just don't want to hear the comments. Okay, well, whether it's negative or positive, you have to deal with it because you chose to be a moderator of this group and this page. It's about sharing, and you're removing stuff, and you're getting people like so. During that time, I had met another co-creator of Kennywood Crazy. So it's not about me, just by the way. Kennywood Crazy was started by 3 people. It's me, Raquel, and Becky Moser. But originally it was just me and Becky spending time. And then I found her on Kennywood Fanatics and wanting a partner for Thunderbolt. Because as you well know, you must have
a partner to ride the Thunderbolt.
Yes, and there's safety reasons why they do that. But yeah, there was a time where she's like, okay, I'm going to, and then when I first met her, it was at our very first picnic, because every year we have a Kennywood Crazy picnic, but it wasn't called Kennywood Crazy Picnic that at that time. My friend Sean, who's since passed, and his son, and my brother, and my good friend Mark Medlin, and just a few other, like 5 other people. We have a very first group picture. It's up on my wall in my living room of all of the people that were there for that day. And we were having a picnic. She came and said, "Hi, hey, I'm so and so, and I would like to have a partner." So yeah, so we struck up a friendship. She's a little bit older than me, and she's a big sweetheart. She has a tattoo of the Kennywood arrow on her arm. This is how much she loves the park, and I kind of seen her heart for Kennywood, and she also was having the same frustrations with the other groups on Facebook. So I said, hey, let's start up our own, because I'm kind of a little frustrated with the other ones. So we did so, and the name came from, I was talking to my boss on our lunch break. I said, yeah, I'm going up there, and man, some of these people are just crazy up there. I mean, sometimes they love the park, yeah, but there's people just misbehaving, like not treating people right well at the moment,
right?
And so I'm like, yeah, he's like, yeah, they're crazy. Yeah, it's Kennywood Crazy, hence the name,
and it's stuck.
And it's stuck. And then I reached out to some of my friends, Angel, who is a artist, and her niche is drawing roller coasters. You can see the artwork behind me. This is the Phantom, obviously, and she started doing all of our artwork, our t-shirts and stuff like that, and got us some artwork for our page. And it was like 4 of us, me and Rocky and Angel, and it was me, Rocky, and Becky at first, and then I asked Angel to be a moderator, and it started growing. It went from 3 people, the 3 of us, to now it's like 13,000, 12 to 13,000 people.
Woo! I didn't even know that. Woo!
Yeah, it grew really, really, really fast. I think it was what was stuck out the most between us and the other ones is we did socialize in the park. We did member meetups, which was, let's find a coaster, let's pick a coaster and meet up at a certain time at there, and let's ride together. I don't think any other Kennywood Facebook fan pages have done that. I don't think they have. And it's been great because I've made so many friends. like I was saying earlier, Jay, Rocky and our relationship wasn't that great, and I want to back it up a little bit. Actually, why I started going up there so much and just joining, making friends up there, is because my wife and I were almost divorced. I don't know if I told you this.
No, I didn't even know about this myself.
It was bad, man. They had the lawyers had the paperwork in their hand, and they're about to hand it over us for us to sign. It, I love my wife dearly. And it was hurting me. So I ran into some of her family at a store, and they encouraged me to go talk to her. And I'm like, I don't know, man. And God put it on my heart to go talk to her, and just hammering my heart, go talk to her. And so I'm like, okay, because I was being stubborn. I didn't want to do it. So I come down here and knocked on her door. Things went well. We had dinner that day, and I said, well, I'm going to Kennywood this weekend. Why don't you come with? And so she's like, okay. And on the way up and on the way back, we started working out our stuff. So I believe this is true to the core of my heart, that God used Kennywood as a tool to heal my marriage. Because after that, we started going over every weekend, and then we started getting marriage counseling. And I remember my wife sitting there at the picnic groves in the back of the park and saying, "You know what, Chuck? If you want to go for marital counseling, I'll do it." And so there you go. So it's been a very healing thing for us. And we started doing Kennywood Crazy. We met so many friends and like-minded people up at that park who love the park, with the pluses and minuses, sharing their frustrations of things like what some policies that they'd come up with, or some of the great things that they would come up with, like, hey, let's 21 plus night or whatever it is, come up and have fun, or our ACE event like at KennyCon that we've had up at that park.
Right. And people like me, I probably told you this, but I used to hate Kennywood back in 2019 when I first went.
I think I remember you saying.
And then in 2022, something clicked right away. And then ever since then, Kennywood has now become pretty much my second home park.
Why do you think that was, that kind of bugged you about the park, that made you have a negative?
I have no idea, because I went at the awkward time that Steel Curtain was still under construction and Skyrocket was closed, along with Black Widow. So there wasn't really much to work with. I mean, you still had Phantom, but what was the best coaster outside that? Thunderbolt? Yeah, but I kind of just had a poor understanding of the park at the time.
Yeah.
And how it operated. And in 2022, once all those new improvements came in, something clicked in that. I don't know if it was because the coasters reopened, or I had a newfound respect of the park, or some other third thing. But I've been going to Kennywood a lot more ever since. 2024 was a big year. I went there 11 times.
Yeah, I remember seeing you almost every other weekend. I'm like,
became a
don't you live in Erie? That's a long drive, brother.
I mean, being a season pass holder for a park 2 hours away from you is crazy.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. I actually thought about doing that for Waldameer, because Raquel loves that park too. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know how often I would. Maybe we'll just go up twice a year instead of just once. Get our Ravine Flyer frenzy on both times, not just for the Ace Club, and get our addiction on to the Ravine Flyer. So yeah, so it kind of just it worked. So basically, to end off that question in a quick way, how do you become a member? Basically, I've never really thought of it as membership, but just go on to Facebook, look up Kennywood Crazy, just like how it's spelled right here, up here,
with a K.
With a K, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just used to video, and this is also going to be audio on your thing.
So I'll put a link or something below.
Yeah, and then also you could just go in there and ask to join on top of the page, and it will notify one of our moderators, and we'll let you in. And then we have like I said, I was saying we have member meetups, and that's where the rubber meets the road. That's when you get to actually come and meet everyone and just become friends, and that's.
And I've been to some of those meetups, and they're awesome. Which actually leads to my next question. Actually, you put a perfect segue. So, what is like your overall message you're trying to achieve with Kennywood Crazy?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I never really thought about a message. I just think it was always about community. Even like from the day one, I wanted it to be my suggestion to our group was to do member meetups and to do things within the park so that we have a community within the park and not just posting pictures up on Facebook. My suggestion was to, hey, I see your face here every weekend. What's your name? How can we do this? Let's share our pictures. Let's share our experiences at the park on our group page. And then eventually, I got to know all of them.
And what's cool about member meetups is that you don't get the people like your age. You get people like my age, or even like little kids. So you get like a wide variety of people.
We have families that bring their kids to these things. And I think the most people that we've had in a member meetup was 30 people. It was not this year that we just ended, the season before.
2023.
Yeah, the last member meetup was during Holiday Lights, and we did Noah's Ark, and there was 32 people that showed up for this member meetup. It was everyone, our group, all our moderators, almost all of them, maybe minus one. Hi, Rocky. Almost all our moderators, and then plus some, and then we had some of the enthusiasts that love that park around. There was maybe a employee who was off that day that came and joined us. There's friends of friends there. I mean, and then we had some of our friends like that we've interviewed, like David Wood from Genie TV4. He showed up. He was filming the whole time because what he does, he live streams on YouTube the park. He walks around and shows the park. He'll do that for like a couple hours, and then he'll go ride with his wife or whatever. And Jason, he from Fairly Amused was there. He also filmed our walkthrough through our Noah's Ark. So if you actually if you go on to his YouTube channel, that day we had him filming us, all of us going into the Ark. I remember it was really busy that day, so we just did the best we can. It was a long wait to get in there, but yeah, it was
worth it.
Yeah, so the message, it's just, come on, show some love. I always say, God is good all the time. Love each other, mad crazy love. All of
that is so right.
It's just about lifting people up, and if somebody is having a bad week, go beside them, pray with them, or just say, man, I'm here, here to listen to you. If you need something, and let's go ride a roller coaster. It always cheers me up,
I mean, as someone who was raised Catholic, I have a hell of a lot of respect for that.
Yeah. And I know this is a lot about about roller coasters. So just very shortly, I'm not going to talk about faith yet too much, but I know we've had an opportunity to hear about people struggling with either disease or like cancer or something. We've got an opportunity to pray with them, me and Rock, and that's because we've known them and we've gotten to love them, and we care about them. So
and it's just awesome just to hear other people's stories, be with them. Regardless.
Community, buddy. Community.
I mean, if you don't mind, I have two stories to share on my end.
Go for it.
First one was my first ever Kennywood Crazy meetup. That was 2024. That was Phantom Fall Fest, where we rode Racer.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good one. We had a good turnout.
That was just really cool, just to be with a small little niche community, gather with new people that I never met before, even though I'm 2 hours away from home. but
Yeah.
it just felt like home. It felt right to be
Yeah.
in that place at that time, because I remember
I'm
the
glad you
rest of my
came.
friend group were out and about doing their things, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to Chuck's meetup event. I'll be back in a little bit, because this was important to me, because, well, I never did it Kennywood Crazy member meetup yet.
Yeah.
So when I did that, I'm glad I did, and I wish the rest of my friend group did, but I know they just cared about Phantom, but that's neither here or there.
I cared a lot about Phantom too.
Yeah, but that's
That's
neither
my
here or
addiction.
there. But
Yeah.
the impact it had was really fun. I mean, that racer ride, even though I lost, because I have a losing record. on
Wait
that
a
ride.
second. Were you in my train, or were you?
I think I was in your train. I can't.
Well, next time we race, you're gonna have to get to the other train because you made me lose. What is wrong?
Okay, I'm sorry. So that meetup event was really fun. I had a good time, even though it was for a little short period. We got a picture, we had fun, and it's all that mattered. And just meeting the new people, even though we're all come from different backgrounds,
Yeah.
it felt like family. And the other
Yeah.
one is actually a weird consequence from Ravine Flyer Frenzy 2024.
Okay.
You might know where this is going, but basically, you were giving out all the pins and everyone to
Items,
all us
yeah.
fellow ride operators, and they
Yeah.
came all to me asking, "Who is this guy?" Like, they were so confused, but I mean, you were doing a nice gesture there, so I explained to them what Kennywood Crazy was all about, and a lot of them still wear you pins to this day
Last time
when
we
they're
were
in
at
full
the park.
uniform.
Last time we were at the park, I don't remember her name. You'll have to maybe.
I know a few people. I know Elizabeth was wearing, Megan, Angel.
Yeah. So there was
Nate.
a young girl who Thunder Run. I went up on the platform.
Thunder River, yeah.
I don't know who she was, but she was
It
still.
was probably Megan.
Yeah. Okay, Megan. Nothing but love, Megan. So basically, we gave those buttons out for just to show love, for not only for the park, but and yeah, it's the small part of it is like, hey, promo. You know what I mean? And I love personally. If you see some of my hats, I can't grab them right now because we're busy, but a lot of my hats have buttons and pins all around them. I have CocoCon one. I have all the Kennywood Crazy ones, and then I have an Ozark one on, and one of the Ravine Flyer 2 cap that I had, and then I had two other hats that are fedora hats that have like Silver Dollar City ones on there, and
Well, yeah, us displaying them on our uniforms.
yeah, that's amazing. And it's Jay, I didn't tell you this. This is something new too. When we were coming back from was it last year, not the year before? We went to Lakemont Park, the whole gang, as a member meetup, just the moderators, and we had brought buttons, and I met the general manager of Lakemont Park.
Oh, wow.
And she was sweet. She went out of our way to, hey, I noticed you have cooler, and I know that you guys need a pavilion. So here's our golf cart. We're going to take your stuff down for you. And as before they did that, I gave her a button and said, thank you so much for doing this. They gave us a free pavilion.
Wow.
And that's not normally music parks just don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they went out of your way to cater to your group.
Yeah. And so we brought like a little grill in. They let us bring a little grill in, and we made hot dogs and hamburgers.
So you had a whole barbecue and everything.
There was 8 of us, and we marathon Leap the Dips all day. I got my spanking on Skyliner, and I mean a spanking. Literally, that thing beats the living crap out of you. But I rode that once, and then we just did our marathon, and yeah. So when I came back that month later, it was just me and Rock. She was still wearing her button, the Kennywood Crazy button. I was like, wow, she's still wearing it. So that was really, really cool. It was sweetheart. Very nice people up there. It's a shame that they are not running their amusement park rides right now, but hopefully we'll get to ride them again soon. So.
And that's just an awesome message. So to end off that question is, where do you see the future of Kennywood Crazy? Where do you go from here?
Well, thank you for that question, because I never really thought about that. I just keep on trucking on until my physical body can't ride roller coasters, can't go to Kennywood anymore or whatever. We go up there so we can spend I can spend time with my wife. That's our hot date every weekend. So I do the member meetups because that's fun. I get to spend time with her friends and family. But from that, like 5 years from now, am I going to be able to keep on doing it? I mean, I'm approaching 50 in like 2 years, a year and a half. Am I going to be able to physically be able to ride? God only knows. But I don't know, man. That's something that I'm going to give it up to foreseeable of what God puts in our path when it comes to this.
And that's probably the best way I did it, because like I say on my channel, I let God control my own destiny.
Yeah.
And even though I might be on and off with videos now, it's just like, I'm living the best life I can be at 25 years old.
Yeah. And I'm proud of you. I've seen you talk about you went through college and you graduated, got your degree, and you're doing your job, your career now, and you seem happy. And I'm just so proud of you. Just keep it up, man. Keep up. Whatever you do, your passion, you always put your heart into it. And I think that's wonderful.
And even though I don't work at Waldemere anymore, I still have that passion.
You still love the park. I know. And it's like your home away from home.
Absolutely. So my next question, I'm actually going to flip this around a little bit to segue. We talked about community. We talked about people. So, and one of your strengths on Kennywood Crazy is interviews.
Yeah.
You've interviewed a lot of people. Yeah. I mean, one of my former best friends, Alex, you interviewed. Derek of X Screen Thrills.
That was a blessing.
You've interviewed so many people throughout the years, both big and small. Yeah. And this question goes into it. Why is interviewing other people so important to growing your brand? And what goes into interviewing people? So why did you set on interviewing people?
Well, our very first, this is how it started. I'll tell you how it started, and then I'll tell you why I wanted to keep on doing it. When we started Kennywood Crazy a couple years ago, I was shocked to see one of the big YouTubers around Pittsburgh area. His name's Tom Bartons, and his channel is called Tom Was Here. Tom actually lives a block away from the park, and he regularly once every couple months would go in the park and tell it as it is, how he believes park, what they were doing well and what they were doing bad, what they could do better at. And I respected it. And he started posting. This was a shocker on Kennywood Crazy. I'm like, what? This guy what's posted on here? Okay, man. So it's like,
I'm
okay,
all for it.
I'm all for it. Hey, free content. We love it.
Yeah, but
right?
it's also good to point out the good and bad. It's like constructive criticism.
Exactly. Kennywood Crazy's always done that from day one. If I don't like the ice cream, I'm going to say, ice cream sucks.
Yeah, I'm not going to blurt it out and say, F the ice cream or something.
No.
I was just disappointed about this experience.
It's all a matter how you say it.
A little better.
Yeah, it's all a matter how you say it. So basically, Tom, I did this little thing where it's like, okay, are you in for the pin? Do you want the win? He's like, I'm in for the pin. I'll get you. I'll get you in here in a couple minutes. He messaged me. He said, yeah, I'll be at the park maybe like a month or so, and we'll meet up. So that's how we got our first, very, very, very first interview with Tom Bartons. And we took pictures together. If you can see, if you go on Kennywood Crazy, their YouTube channel, we posted up that interview. It's very short. I think it's a minute long. And after we parted ways and the day was over, I got home and I'm thinking, why why didn't I ask him more questions? I had him nailed down. Why didn't I ask more questions? And so the interview of YouTubers and local media was born. I had opportunity, which was my favorite this past year, was to sit down with David Hayner.
Oh, the Honners, yes.
Is that how you pronounced it?
Yeah, Honor.
Okay, David
Dave
is
Honor, the guy behind it all.
Well, he's an historian. He's a member of ACE, and he wrote a book called Kennywood: Images of America, or is it Images of America Kennywood? He put all of his information from the history of Kennywood into this book with all these old pictures, and it's just an amazing book. If any of your listeners are out there, go look it up. It's such a good read. Very awesome read. Anyways, we sat down and he took me to school.
Oh boy!
He took me to school about all these old coasters that used to be in the park, where a old haunted house used to be, or not, like a fun house. You know where the chain lift or the motor sits for Phantom today?
Yeah.
There used to be a haunted house there, or like a fun house right there. Literally, that was where the door was. And he was telling me they used to have that and they'd sell the ticket for the place. That's back when they would sell the tickets and people would go in there. Excuse me. I'm still getting over sneezers today. Anyways, people would go in there and they would buy their ticket, go in there, and they would come out. They would have so much fun in there, and they would just hang out in there for hours at a time. And so eventually they had like this. Okay, we're not making money on the other rides that we have here or other attractions here. So they eventually moved it down and took it. But he was telling me about the very first coasters, where they were located, and like I said, he took me to school, and it was really interesting, fascinating. We also had opportunity to interview Jay Zemanek.
Yep, this guy right here.
Yeah,
and
that was interesting.
That was a really fun interview.
It was fun.
It kind of was an inspiration for how this podcast would eventually be condensed down to.
Oh, thanks.
But the interview questions were well written out, well researched. You basically took pretty much notes on the channel and myself as a whole. And we spent the next hour on Facebook basically just talking about whatever. It just felt natural. It felt like a casual conversation.
Yeah, if anybody wants to go see that or watch that, just go on YouTube and look up Kennywood Crazy. They'll follow and watch Jay. Look up Jay, and it's a good interview. I enjoyed it.
It's one of the longest interviews
he's
done.
Yeah, it was a good one. I was actually at the end. I was like, okay, Jay, I'm running out of batteries.
you're trying to rush me, but it was a good. You basically did your homework, basically.
Yeah.
And
I tried to
I appreciate that. And we got to learn a little bit more about each other, mainly about me.
Yeah.
It's probably the same reciprocal for this podcast, as I mentioned before, but interviews have worked.
Yeah.
I've interviewed so many people.
Yeah.
Of various degrees.
My dream one, if you think about this, my dream one is, because Kennywood is so iconic, what is more iconic out there of the local media around Kennywood? Rick Seaback. That would be my dream interview would be Rick, because of Kennywood Memories. His documentary on Kennywood is so iconic.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, people would eat that up, and I would love to. I mean, I met him a couple years ago at the park when he was doing the reading of Twas the Night Before Christmas. I think it was Twas the Night Before Christmas. Yeah, Twas the Night. They do that every Holiday Lights, and he comes every year to do that. I'd love to just sit down and pick his brain. What made him want to do that documentary? And because he already knows that thing is helped Kennywood Park so much.
Yeah, it's so iconic. I mean, I got the "You're right, Gino" in my head.
That also too. And made Gino in the forefront. He was just a mechanic man. Now everyone knows who he is. You know what I mean?
That classic video of riding Thunderbolt with the oil.
How dangerous is that, man? I don't know how he got away with that. That's just...
things were simpler back in the day, but if you have not seen Kennywood Memories, it's a must-watch.
Yes. Go watch it, please.
It is awesome. And so basically, you have dream interviews. You had interviewees before. To end off that question, basically, what goes into basically interviewing people? How do you choose?
I want to try to do local people that know the park, Kennywood Park, but kind of like you knew Kennywood, so I could ask you about questions about Kennywood, but also want people that who actually know like other parks like Waldameer and around surrounding areas like Knoebels and stuff like that, so that I can get a reaction of what their thoughts on the park is. I wanted people who are accessible to not just be able to, hey, look, I can meet you at the park. Would you like to, you know what I mean? Or I can meet you there. I like doing it one-on-one. So that's some of the criteria that I tried. And just all good enthusiasts and, and who's a good person. I can feel that, and work with them. I met so many people because I was doing that. I had a good conversation after when we did Kara and Derek. Right after the film stopped film, we just chatted for like 10-15 minutes, and it was just, I could see Derek's heart. You know what I mean? I could see Derek's heart, and he loves his kids. He's an amazing father. Kara, she's such a talented photographer. You could see it in her videos, like Adventuring Abby's. The film that she produces is just amazing. I don't know if you actually, Jay, has seen some of her films.
No, I have not, but I should.
Should go look, because it's just gorgeous. It's just the way everything looks beautiful, gorgeous, the way she films, and she's Adventuring Abby's is about her family going to these parks and also traveling to there and spending time with her family. So, she films her kids, their reactions coming off coasters or them swimming, and it's just, and she's a sweetheart too. She's they were so nice to us, and so I guess people like that I definitely interested in talking, because he's a YouTuber. He's been in the bush, or whatever you want to call it, for a long time, and I want to pick his brain. That's why I started doing the interviews, and that's why I wanted to continue. That's who I want to continue to interview.
And that's why I wanted to choose you eventually on my podcast, because I knew you were going to have some really good things to talk about.
Yeah.
And it goes a long way. So my next question actually doesn't have to do with Kennywood Crazy or coasters at all. We're going to flip the script a little bit.
Okay.
Because there's one thing I know about you personally, but I think it's impactful for both you and parks.
Yeah.
So hear on me on this one. Music. You are a creator of music.
I am a musician, yes.
You are a musician, and the first time I ever heard your music, you remember this story. I was in line for a haunt at Cedar Point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you texted me. That was I forgot what song it was, but it was November 1st, 2024. So I'm trying to remember what you recommended me.
I think I sent you a heavier song, because I know that's a style of music.
Yeah, that's the style I like. But I remember the first time I listened to that song in line for the haunt, and it was really, really good.
Oh, thank you.
So
man.
Basically, what inspired you to create the music you do?
Growing up, I wanted to be a singer. I don't know if you knew that. And in the 90s, mid 90s or late 90s, there was a band called Alice in Chains, and Lane Staley is an amazing vocalist. I started listening to him and trying to sing his songs, and I tried singing the band called Live. Did you ever hear?
Live? Mm-hmm.
Ed Kowalczyk.
Telling the Drama, very good album.
Yeah, he is an amazing vocalist. Not many people give that man the credit that he is due. Also, Eddie Vedder, he's amazing. But on top of that,
all the grunge bands of the 90s.
Seattle bands, Soundgarden, Chris Cornell. You go back and listen to some of his vocals, and before he passed away, he put out a new album. He's singing his butt off the whole time, every time, and it's amazing. So that influenced me wanting to be a singer. But the problem was, I'm not the greatest vocalist in the world. I could sing backups. When I've played in a couple of bands, man. I've done cover bands. I've actually right now I'm in a worship band at church, Champion Life Church. They have me play bass for them, and that's a wonderful thing I get to do, serve that way. But I've also recently, done a lot of recording stuff. But what got me started was I realized I can't sing that well, so I'm going to pick up an instrument, and that was guitar. In '97, I bought my first acoustic guitar, and I annoyed the living crap out of my wife with it. I would carry it around all over the place. I was always playing it, always trying to get better. My first riff that I learned was "Come As You Are" by Nirvana.
Oh, yes.
It's a little simple riff, and those who are guitarists out there who want to learn guitar, pick up Nirvana songbook. It's really good to start with something because his riffs were simple. There are chords, a lot of chords, but he wasn't like a Dream Theater type now where everything's just
it's not like complicated. I mean the new Dream Theater album is complicated, but you're not Mike Portnoy. No,
Kurt Cobain was a songwriter. He was a songwriter. He was a good guitarist enough that he knew enough to be able to write a good song. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you go listen to some of the leads, he's really basic. And that goes with Pat Smear playing along with him too. But I listened to that stuff, got influenced, and then I met someone who played, and he is an amazing guitarist today. His name is Joe Malone, and he became like a brother to me, and that's why every time I refer to him, I call him my brother. And we're not blood, but he's like my best friend, and so we hung out a little bit, and I would just sat there and just, my jaw would drop. Hear him play. I mean, this man, he could play really well at age 6. I think it was 17. It was 16 or 17. And so it's like, you know what, Joe, if I buy a guitar, will you teach me? He's like, yeah. And he did not charge me one dime to sit down and show me a few things on the guitar. And I kept at it. And so from now, I've met a lot of musicians, and it was because of the guitar, just like roller coasters. I've met a community of musicians, and I've got a chance to play with them, made a lot of friends because of it. And God has blessed me enough to be able to use that gift of music to write, record, and be able to serve on a worship team. And I've got to record with some of the people at our church, and that's some of the newer recordings you listen to. So if you do go onto the Unknown channel, which is on YouTube, you'll hear a span of from 99 or 98 or 99 to now of all the songs I've ever recorded. And you can see that you'll hear the progression of the guitar playing, of how I couldn't really play a lead guitar solo to save my life, to now be able to do it with somewhat ease, and not that I'm thrashing like a Dave Mustaine. I'm just
you're not a thrash, down picking like James Hetfield, who can basically put out a riff from anywhere. But
I have that. My influences were Alice in Chains, so you could hear that in the guitar playing, and hear that, and hear Joe Malone's playing because he's the one that taught me a little bit. But yeah, music has been a big, huge therapy for me. And you and I have talked a lot about music. And just yesterday we were chatting just before we were trying to get everything set up about like the bands and new music that we were enjoying at the time.
Yeah, because you're more of a like grunge and alternative. I'm more like heavy metal and alternative metal. Like you like bands like all the grunge bands in the 90s, and then there's me with like Metallica, Trivium, Beartooth, and like the heavier stuff that, I mean, everyone has their different taste in music.
Yeah, definitely. It's what's the word? Everyone's different, and it's a matter of like roller coasters. I might like a roller coaster, you might hate it.
Yeah, you may like I like Iron Gwazi as my number one, but someone else has a different number one.
I just realized that this too. It's what's the funny thing is if we can mash it. I just learned how to mash my music that I've created with the roller coaster community. Like last year, I was asked by Jason of Fairly Muse to write and record a theme song for him. So he has my music. If you go every video, beginning of video, he has a montage and he uses that song.
It's kind of like me using the half-pace music.
Yeah, the half-pace.
We talked this about off camera, so I'm gonna be very quick with this one.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the same story of me promoting all the half-pace music. They didn't copyright. They were like, yeah, go for it. Promote our music. I've been doing that since the Shattered Utopia days back in 2019.
Good.
With that half-pace, now Mark of Fatality, and they just eat that up. I mean, the promotion is awesome. I mean, I attended some of the live shows for Mark of Fatality, and it's just going out, supporting your community.
Yeah.
And that's all I ask. And I hate to put you in the spotlight here because I know you wrote a lot of songs since 99. What is your favorite song that you ever written? I know, bonus question.
I'm just going to ask, just think about recently. I had a friend pass away. His name is Sean Chassagne, and he was very sick with cancer. He had a rare form of cancer, and this summer in last June, he passed away. But a little bit before that, I kind of seen where it was going, and he was going to go home to Jesus. And I wrote a song for him. Me and Joe wrote a song for him, and it's called Frailty, because life is so frail. You know what I mean? It's not Sean was frail. It was like this life that we live like that, a vapor. It's a blink, and a vapor. We're here today, gone tomorrow. What do we do with our lives? What are we doing here? So the song basically says how Sean was trying to raise up his son and how to teach him about Jesus, and he was a man of faith. And we had him as a moderator, Kenny Way Crazy, and he was there at the very first Kenny Way Crazy picnic. And Sean loved taking his son up to the park, and we were actually in Waldameer one time. My first trip to Waldameer, Jay, was with him and his son, 7-year-old son. I got to ride Ravine Flyer 2 for the very first time with his son.
That is awesome. That is so humble.
So Sean, when he passed away, that was a testament. That song was a testament to his life and what he's done in his life. Pointing people to Jesus Christ, right? Because he was a minister. He was a pastor. If you didn't know that, I didn't tell you that, but yeah, he was a pastor, and he was just, God had him here like a vapor, just like everyone else.
Yeah, may he rest in peace. And it's just very humble that you did that for him, and
I mean,
his impact that you had with, obviously with the ministry, with Jesus, and then obviously with Kennywood Crazy, and then going up Waldameer for the first time. There's just a lot of deep story of it. And hopefully he
I miss him. I love him.
Found some peace and closure in the afterlife.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. He knows he's with Christ. He's with Christ.
Yeah, he's there upstairs. So speaking of Waldameer, we're gonna flip the script again, and this is about Waldameer, my home park. You have known this time and time again. You Bread fans know this, that I will not shut up about Waldameer until the day I die.
Good. You should.
You will not.
You should. That's how you get people know about Waldameer.
Let's look at this from the perspective of Chuck, and actually Rocky too, for the both of you. Why do you and Rocky enjoy Waldameer the way you do?
Ooh, Rocky's sitting over there, so I'm going to shout out over there a little bit. We all talked about it. Why do you like Waldemar so much, Rocky? Her answer is Ravine Flyer too, but but my answer was because it's a family park. There's very few of them left in this world. Knoebels is being one of them that I've been to. I don't know.
One of the best parks in the country.
Yes, one of the best parks. Literally, I know Camden Park is, but it's God rest its soul. I hope it doesn't die. There's if you go watch Jason's very amused video, it looks like, oh my gosh, this park.
Yeah, my one buddy Colton that I interviewed before, he lives in West Virginia and he's not too far from that park. And, it's seen better days. It's
seen better days, and I hope they get the funds to revive that park. But that's beside the point.
But that's beside the point.
Waldemar, if it has a small time vibe in it. And I've never been there before, Ravine Flyer, and I don't know what it was like back then.
It basically felt like something was missing in their lineup because I know it was Mr. Nelson's dream to build a successor to Ravine Flyer 1.
Yeah. And so that park is it's got that, it's just, I walk it, if you watch one of the videos that I did last year, before our Ravine Flyer Frenzy, the smile on my face and the emotion that was coming out of me, I'm like, oh, I'm at my second favorite park. That is why I love it. It's just that feeling, and the atmosphere and it's just there's so much to it.
Because you don't have a lot of family-owned parks anymore that are like Waldemar, and now pretty much under the Gorman family. Lane Nelson, Paul's wife, owns the park, but Steve Gorman is co-owner. So it's basically under the Gorman family at this point, but it's ensuring continuity because Mr. Nelson was one of the best owners of any park you can look at. His dedication was immaculable. I respect it.
Yeah,
because he started at the old age of 11. Many years ago as a dishwasher, and then eventually went up to general manager, and then eventually taking ownership.
How did that happen?
Basically worked till the day he died. 3 weeks before his death, he bought that trailer park right outside the park property to ensure future expansion of the park. So even though he's now with God and with Jesus, he bought it. He knew that Waldemar was going to grow even after he went upstairs.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Waldemar does with all that extra land. I have my suspicions what they're going to do.
Yeah, I have my things, but I'm not going to declassify them here.
No.
Policy, but basically, Mr. Nelson was smart. He was a great businessman, and he shaped the park to where it is today.
Yeah. I mean, I see that. Even though I've only been going there for like 3-4 years to Waldemar, I could see, wow, this is a good, nice park. And I talk about the locals down in Yinzers. You call them Yinzers. I just call them my locals, my friends. And they cannot say enough about Waldemar Park, especially the crazies. We have, every year we go up there for our Ravine Flyer Frenzy, and some of our crazies come with us. Like Bryce comes with us.
Bryce comes along, Alex and Owen.
Well, there's another woman. Her name is Linda Kerr, and she's a moderator to our group. And she is the sweetest woman, and she can't say enough about Waldemar. She loves it up there. Her and her husband and her son go up there. He goes fishing because he doesn't do roller coasters.
Yeah, because Presque Isle is right there.
But at the end, he'd come in and have dinner with them, okay? Yeah. And not pay admission. And the food is reasonably priced, so they don't have to go to Sheets.
They can just eat at the park if they want, or bring in their own food.
Bring out your own food. And then he'd go down to Presque Isle, fish while they ride Ravine Flyer and all the other coasters and rides there, because he's not a roller coaster person. And then he comes back and they spend the evening walking around playing games.
And then that's what Mr. Nelson set the park for the community to use.
Yeah, and I think I agree. I kind of miss back in the days when Kennywood was free admission, and we do hear the chatters of other people around my age and maybe older. I'm an older elderly woman. I
Like
can't
you
run.
miss Laser Loop, you miss Steel Phantom,
And I
maybe,
can't.
and stuff
I
like
just
that.
want to come in and picnic, eat with my family. I don't ride roller coasters. I don't ride anything. But I want to spend time. I don't want to spend $70 at a ticket for I can't not come in and do anything. Maybe play a game or two, but that's extra cash. I just want to come in. Well, that's great, and I believe that but the times change.
Yeah.
You gotta roll with it.
Unfortunately for the better, Kennywood had to change.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. Waldemar continues to be for the people.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can do as much or as little as you want. And there's, like you said, you can come in, have dinner, go fishing in Presque Isle, and come back if you want.
Yeah,
you can
definitely
marathon Ravine Flyer too, like I do all day long, and not give a world about it. But even like the Ace event, Steve Gorman, shout out saying he knows how to host an Ace event.
Very, very polite, nice man. And I don't know if I told you this after the Ace event. I was like 2 months later, towards the end of the summer, Rocky and I were like, Raquel's like, I want to go back to Waldemar. I was like, well, we could go. How about this weekend? Just randomly. And I texted you, hey, we're going to be up there. If you're not working, you can hang out. If we can hang out if you want, but you were on shift.
Yeah, I was on shift, so I could only talk for a little bit.
I ran into him literally because he's not one of those guys that just sits.
He sits in the office and does office work all day.
Yeah.
He's out there. He learned this from Mr. Nelson.
He's
always around in the park, talking to people, always willing to help.
Yeah, I ran into him at the gift shop, and I started chatting because he saw I was wearing this shirt. I was wearing a Kennywood Crazy shirt with the arrow. And he jokingly looked at me because Raquel was wearing hers too. Hey, man, you can't wear those at this park. How dare you? How dare you? And I was like, hi, it's nice to meet you. Do you remember my face from last a couple months ago, Ravine Flyer? Because I actually did said hi, and I actually gave him a button too.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's funny because I'm gonna turn this off here. I'm sorry, my iPad's flashing at me. Okay, no, that'll work. But we had an opportunity to go to Mr. Knoebel when we were at Knoebel's for our Ace event. I gave him one too, but that's beside the point. The manager of the
Steve Gorman.
Sorry, I brain farting. Steve. He was very polite. I talked to him and said, hey, look, we love your park. Even though Kennywood is our home park, I love amusement parks, okay? I just love them. I love roller coasters. I love the rides, And I think you, Mr. Gorman, have a wonderful park. And I would thank you. And I wanted to say, keep up the hard work. Thank you so much, sir. And he's like, oh, thank you. And then he smiled. It's like, it was nice seeing you. And then we parted ways real quick. But yeah, very polite, nice man. He knows what he's doing. He learned the craft. It's a craft. It's kind of like any skill set like that any masonry or carpenter has to learn. You have to learn from when you're a little young to the age to where you can be able to manage something like that. It takes time, and he knows how to do it. So I have nothing but hope and praise, and I know just blessings upon that for blessings upon that park. So
yeah. So how does that compare to like a local? Because again, you're about 2 hours away from Waldemar, and I'm literally just a stone's throw from the park. So and I'm a local here. So how does that compare to like me, who's like dead on with this park?
Well, I mean, you're just used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know you don't take it for granted, but sometimes when you're walking in the parks, like I've been here yesterday and the day before or last.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I was just here 12 hours ago, and now I'm back here for work.
Yeah. So I mean, you think about it. It's something that but from an outsider point of view, from my very first visit, I would say, hey, I pulled up in that parking lot by the Water World.
Yep.
And I could see just all the, water slides. I'm like, wow, that's cool. We're not going to be able to swim today, but wow, that's really cool. It's a beautiful part. Then we went got out of our car, walked onto the gate, got our tickets, and then got our wristband, and then we started walking back past the chaos, and there it was, the flags to Ravine Flyer.
And I'll just say that it makes a damn good first impression when you walk in.
My gosh, I was so pumped. You know me, because I was like, okay, fam, I've already got on like 60 so coasters or whatever so far, and I'm pumped. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Are you ready? So we walked back to the park, and that was the first ride I got on, and it blew my mind. I noticed the park was clean. It was well kept.
Super friendly staff.
So yeah, everyone's awesome, and we did. This is before the Kennywood Crazy, so we didn't, really talk to too many people. But my experience for the first experience was amazing. So if you're asking what does it compare to a local, it'd be like your first time going to Kennywood. I know it wasn't.
Like I said, my first visit to Kennywood was an improper understanding of the park. I didn't know why people love this park, because all the fans were basically saying, "Oh, Jay, you need to get to Kennywood. You need to try this park. It's like a bucket list park," and I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
But a few years later, I understood why.
Yeah.
And now it's like you with Waldemar, with me with Kennywood.
Yeah.
We're finally understanding the opposite park.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And we each are going to have our own unique experiences with the new rides at our respective home parks and at the opposite. So, and it's just awesome to see that. So speaking of parks, question 8, we're going to talk about a blanket statement here.
Okay.
Between you and Rocky collectively, what is your favorite amusement park that you've been to and why?
Well, a few years ago, I'd say about 4, maybe 5, even before Kennywood Crazy, my wife and I had saved up some money, and we were looking for a vacation. We decided, okay, let's call my brother up, Joe, and we were just chatting, and it's like, well, there's this place down here. It's really nice. I thought, it can't be. It's got to be rinky dink, something small,
Like something's up.
Something it can't be. I've been to Cedar Point. I know a really good park when I see it.
Yeah, like Cedar Point, it's like the best of the best.
Yeah, and so he's like, this place is called Silver Dollar City. And I'm like, I'll have to look it up. And that year, they just built Time Traveler.
Ooh.
So they just built Time Traveler, and they have amazing support of, like other coasters. They actually have one of the SSSs that actually run well.
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
So that, not only that, but SNS has get off subject a little bit. SNS has a history of all their coasters having
some troublesome coasters, but Powder Keg is somewhat reliable.
It is amazing. It's got a top hat. Well, it's funny. Funny thing is, it has a kind of lift.
Yeah, because I was from the old Buzzsaw Falls.
Weird coaster.
The Premier Rides water coaster that used to be this, and they just conjoined 2 layouts into one.
Yeah, so they put a lift on it, okay, and you ride in there, and the restraints are just, if you've never been on an SNS Green Swing, same restraints to the T. So they put you on this there, they put the restraints down, they put you out on this lift, and it goes like on a 45-degree angle, it goes like this. Then they roll you out slowly, and then it launches you up a top hat, and that thing just moves. It is a fun coaster. It is a good coaster, but that's not the favorite of the park.
Let me guess, Outlaw Run.
Well, there's another one before that. There's actually a B&M Looper.
Wildfire, yeah.
B&M Looper, that's Raquel's favorite out there. And, besides the one I'm going to tell you here in a second, that coaster, you go in the back, after you exit it. Now, I don't know if any of your listeners know that Silver Dollar City is in the Ozark Mountains. Sorry.
That's one of my bucket list places to visit.
So when you exit after riding Wildfire, you go on this deck and it's overlooking these mountains, Jay, and all you see is mountains and mountains and mountains for as far as you could see. And then when the sun goes down to a certain extent, it looks like it's going to go inside the loop, the vertical loop of Wildfire. It's so cool. It's the most picturesque B&M looper I've ever seen, you know, and all of the pictures. But yeah, you were saying Outlaw Run's amazing. But the one that stands out is Time Traveler. And Rex Raquel's favorite one there. It's my favorite one. It's only, at the time when it was built, it was the first of its kind. First extreme spinning coaster with 3 loops, 100 feet straight down, 90-degree angle, a dive right off the deck of the station.
I have yet to get to Silver Dollar City myself. I need to get there.
Yeah, and you'll enjoy it. You'll have fun. I know you will.
Because, I mean, Knoebels is my favorite park, but that's for different reasons. But Silver Dollar City is up there in one of my top bucket list parks in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of its surroundings, the good quality lineup, the absolute... I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Golden Ticket Awards left and right. Yeah.
I mean, even its sister park, Dollywood. I have family down in Tennessee, and they want to take... They're like me. They're very adventurous.
Okay.
And I got them on Ravine Flyer 2 for the first time a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get me down to go to Dollywood. And I'm dying to go there.
Yeah, I hear really good things about that park. They just won a bunch of...
There's 2 words that I can describe that park that would end the channel on a good note. Cinnamon bread.
Other words, put Chuck Teeple, the diabetic, in the hospital.
Yeah, but I need that. But that's neither here or there. But Silver Dollar City, I respect that as a park choice.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good things, and they have a lot of Golden Ticket Awards also.
Yeah, so gotta get there. Maybe a future trip in like a few years. So let's go back to Kennywood.
Okay, sure.
For question 9. Let's go back to this. So it's 2025. It's a weird time for Kennywood because the last ride that was added to the park was Spinvasion in 2023. Obviously, this year is the Kennywood Junction, which is the Thomastown retheme.
Yeah.
So nothing really technically, quote unquote, new this year.
Although,
and then
they'll
Steel
brand
Curtain.
it as new, but that's, yeah.
They brand it as new, but still, and Steel Curtain returns. So basically no new attractions. And Potato Smash was the overhaul from 2024. So by the end of this decade, basically 2029, where do you see Kennywood going?
That's a good question. I asked the same thing to Derek. You know well as I do, as Kennywood is landlocked.
Yeah,
So-
and that's one of the biggest struggles of that park is just trying to find new things. And we kind of had a sour taste in our mouths after 2020, that whole removing Bear and Curve, Volcano, and Paratrooper. Yeah,
it's-
Kangaroo's still here, but that put a dent in going forward.
Also put a black eye on some of the locals. They were not happy, especially the Kangaroo.
It's been a rough decade for this park, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because the owners are.
Is it Palace Entertainment? Is it
whoever
effects
the
of COVID,
manager?
or is it some other thing we don't know?
David Hayner actually suggested that he said something during our interview. He's like, there was a manager here that he didn't name names, and that's fine. But
Yeah, that's fine.
there was a manager here who just thought, okay, let's start pulling old rides out. You just can't do that in Kennywood. It's just Kennywood has a niche for old rides.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're gonna get rid of Turtle and that Noah's Ark. It's going to because it's old too. You don't do that.
No, you do not get Turtle, you gave it an overhaul. Good.
Well, yeah, that's good, but that was an example.
But yeah, but still, it's like, it's been a rough decade for this park.
So basically,
So where do you see it go? Because I'm scratching my head saying, what the hell do we do now?
Well, I think obviously we're going to I think they also obviously maintain the classic Ace coasters, historic coasters, three Woodies. You know, the Jackrabbit, the Thunderbolt, the Racer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, I mean, replace the dang rides that you took out of the park, for heaven's sakes. Put some new flat rides in, like you.
I mean, you already did it with Spinvasion, replacing Volcano.
Do it. I mean, Jay, I know you've been to that park many times, but think in your head, walking back to the curtain,
right,
and that area that's by
the whole Steelers country,
Coastal Country, there is a huge empty space in there. Put a flat ride there. Why can't you put a flat ride there? You know, put a drop tower there. Put something there that people can, you know, utilize during the summer. You just have a big, huge empty space. What are you doing with it?
And like, I rode Baron Curve in its last operating, 2019, but they just replaced it with lockers. If you're going to remove a historical landmark, guaranteed you're going to piss off a lot of locals.
Pitchforks and torches, baby.
But it's just a dangerous gamble.
Yeah, I mean, and I was saying this to a few other people. What the music park is so niche because, you know, you have to be able to have a consistency, but be able to move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to
Waldemar,
change or die.
Is moving at an exponential rate. And the only rides within the past 5 years they have removed since COVID, so we're looking at this decade so far, the only things they have removed is Spider, Paratroopers in stores, so I don't really count that, but basically Spider. And you know, Spider sucks. So at least for me, I was happy about the removal because we got something in its place. And the park is always changing in a good way.
Yeah.
Like Kennywood is kind of, I hate to say this in this way, is having an identity crisis.
Yeah, it is, and it has a lot to do with I think with Kennywood. I think it also is when Palace Entertainment purchased that park off of Kennywood Entertainment. The company is from Spain.
Yeah, Parques Reunidos.
They do not know the culture of Pittsburgh. They just don't. How would you know the culture of Pittsburgh if you don't? You have to live there to know it.
And apparently, the European parks over there are run way better than the American parks.
Does that show you they know the culture overseas, but they don't know here? Does that
because like Kennywood's sister park, Idlewild, is facing a similar grudge.
Yeah. So I mean, Idlewild is a wonderful park. It's actually old, from what I understand, it's older.
1878. But
yeah,
it feels like both parks are just stuck somewhere.
Stuck in time, but then again, it goes back to the thing where you have to know the culture of Pittsburgh to be able to, you know, keep the same. They've had that niche where they keep the old and move on with the new. Like I think you and I were talking about a while back. You could go and ride the curtain, and then like a foot.
You take like a minute or two walk. You can go ride Jackrabbit.
You can ride Jackrabbit like a football field away. I'm sorry, I got distracted there, buddy.
Yeah, you're good, but it's just awesome. But one of the biggest struggles that I've seen with Kennywood, at least, is IPs. We went through so much. I mean, we had Garfield in the early 2000s, Thomastown in the 2010s, and now Steelers Country. And it feels like we already replaced the Thomas IP. I felt like it did fit for a time, but Kennywood Junction seems better.
Yeah.
Fit, and then Old Mill as well. But it's like death is knocking on heaven's door at this point. It's like, all right, when's Steelers Country? Because that thing never opened fully because of COVID.
No, and they built that building, that huge building beside that coaster, took up all that space. They were planning on using it as a playground for
like an entertainment facility.
But they never used it. It's only used once a year, and the Malice haunt is in there 24/7, so they can't use it during the summer. It's just like, okay.
And I went in Malice for the first time this past year, and I'm like, there's so much missed potential.
Yes, and
with this
so
building because the concept art and everything, it looked so promising. A lot of like interactivity for the little kids. You had all these midway games, interacting with, the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise. I mean, I'm a Browns fan, so I'm going to probably get harassed for this, but you have to understand the Steelers and how good they were back in the dynasty in the 70s, and then also in the 2000s. When
it's not the same.
I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, but still. I mean, that's just me rambling about Steelers now and, how inconsistent they are. But, I mean, it's a quintessential icon of the Pittsburgh area. And it's like, how much time is there left with the IP? What happens if they don't renew the IP like Mattel didn't with Thomas? What's going to happen?
So, too, and you think about that, They could do what they did with the Geauga Lake thing when Geauga Lake was sold from Six Flags to Cedar Point, Cedar Fair. That's basically what they did to Thomastown. They just stripped it all of the, I don't know if you've seen the pictures of Kennywood, because I know you're not on Facebook, but the Kennywood posted all the pictures of the new trains, and they ripped Thomas' face off of it.
But I actually like the new train.
So you see the picture? It's black and yellow.
I seen it on Instagram, but but that's besides the point. But some of these rethemes have been for the better. I mean, Old Mill, technically the new train for Thomas, but it's like, what's going to happen with Steel Curtain?
Well, I mean, can I state this? I mean, me personally, I'm not a sports fan.
No.
And I've actually told you that, and it's fine. To each his own. I've always been already know, obviously roller coasters and music. That's my thing. I love to do. So when they announced it was going to be Steelers, I'm like, okay. What's your point? And then you go through the gift shop, and you always just see a Steelers. I'm not going to buy that stuff. I don't like football. So,
I mean, all the Pittsburgh locals will like it, but
I mean,
were there in my Cleveland Browns jersey, and then I got harassed by all the ride operators.
Yeah,
but that's a different story.
So you see, like NFL as a whole,
it's a huge market. I mean, everyone pretty much watches football in America these days.
Yeah.
I mean,
NFL
will grab that money anywhere.
And so they're grabbing the license from the NFL and from the Steelers. And so will that last? Probably not.
Probably not. I mean, it depends how long Curtain lasts because, that thing has been unreliable since opening.
We'll see about the summer.
We'll see about that. But I only wrote since between 2022 and 2023, I've only ridden it 10 times.
Yeah.
That's it.
I got my marathon on.
Yeah, so it's all going to depend on how long Steel Curtain lasts, because if these problems still persist, you might lose a headline and attraction.
I might have to have you do a Connie Yacht scream out the window. I
do not want to do that here, but I don't like everything's uncertain. Like Kenny was like, we want to be optimistic about that park.
Yeah, I always say because we love the park. Everyone loves the park.
But behind the scenes, there's just so many questions.
Yeah, and you know what? Kennywood himself, I guarantee you, they didn't build a $22 million coaster to say, oh, it's just going to sit there and collect dust. No, they built it to bring people in, and when it's not running...
And when it's operating, it's good.
It's a good coaster. It's a fun coaster. It's not my favorite coaster ever.
No,
but it's
still a good coaster.
Really, yeah.
But all the improvements since 2022, when I returned to the park, have been great. And they're doing so much this year, and I'm like, I'm all for it. But behind the scenes, there's just so many questions.
Yes, there is a lot of questions, and how well Kennywood evolve from here is what we're getting at. How will it go from here? Because this is my generations. I'm a little bit older than you, so I could consider it my generation. and then your generation, and then your generation before that. I think I asked you, what do you think?
Because we're Gen Zs and you're probably Gen X, and then in between is millennials.
Yeah, and if you think about it, what kind of the thing that we're passing on to them? What are we passing on to them?
Like what's attracting Gen Z and then eventually Gen Alpha, the generation after me?
Yeah,
it's like, what are we trying to attract? Because all these old timers are like attracting Gen Xers, millennials.
Yeah.
And they're reminiscent. And then the Gen Zs just do not, most of them, no offense to myself or anybody else, I know, it's not clicking as much. Me, I can understand and appreciate. Mm-hmm. But some people don't have it. And then Gen Alpha, God bless their soul. I mean, they probably don't have an understanding. But it's just, hopefully, I just hope Kennywood just goes in a positive direction for the second half of the decade. Because the first half has been pretty bumpy.
Yeah, I've seen it. And there's reasons why, but we'll figure out what's going to go on just by living it and going up there.
So the last question I have, I always pick out a crazy question on anything for the last question.
Okay.
So you kind of asked this in my interview.
All right.
So it's time to return the favor.
All right, man. Do it.
It's Kennywood related. So here we go. So if you had to remove one Kennywood ride from the park that, that's current right now, but that would mean you would replace it with a former ride, like a defunct ride. So you're basically replacing a current ride with a defunct ride.
Okay. I can tell you right now.
So basically, what would you remove and what would you bring back?
All right. So we're going to get rid of that Revachon.
Exterminator. Okay.
Because it's a wild mouse. It's time. It's just time. I'm sorry. Although they take care of it, they do take care of all their rides.
I mean, they improved this past year. I mean, finally back up to 4 people operations on the cars. But it's seen better days. It's
seen better days. Have you seen the front of the tunnel when you go in? You look up the sign with the rat. He's falling apart. You go. They just replaced the TVs. The TVs just this year, and they got rid of the big clunky power things in front. They were eyesore. That's the remnant of when it opened. The coaster itself is you could ride that coaster almost different places. So you go up to, an hour and a half up the road to Del Grosso's. And that's
you get
what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you get the same thing. And there's other parks that have that same model. What makes Exterminator different though is it's
indoors.
It's indoors dark, and you don't see what you're doing, and it has a hell of a spin on it. It really does.
It does. It's a good spin, but
with that said, I would remove it and put, and I know they could do this. Let's put the laser loop back in.
Ooh, but that would not fit in the land space that.
You put that one in there. I don't care if it's going into.
I don't care if you remove Black Widow for it.
I don't care. It can be put there.
So why would you want to bring back Laser Loop? Because you're like the only person I know that has ridden Laser Loop.
I was scared of it. I was scared of the coasters back then. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I don't know. How about you? When you were young, were you scared of the roller coasters? That's a lot of enthusiasts that are like that. They go from one end of being so scared of them to the end of, I can't get enough. I'm spending all my money and time at amusement parks riding these roller coasters. Hey.
So why would you bring back Laser Loop then?
Because that was a triumph. That was a victory. And I have good memories connected to it. I remember where it was originally in the park. And I remember, you actually walked under the loop to get into the park. So right now, if you think about it, you know where the Lost Kennywood sign is?
Yeah, that whole area is where the launch pad is, and they still reuse the station.
Yeah, but if you look, if you don't know this, right down that little hillside, there was where the gate was. You walked into Kennywood there. Their parking, the Lost Kennywood was a parking lot, and you would actually go up there, buy your tickets, and then you walk in. You know, oh well, back then I don't know if they were charging tickets or whatever, but you walked in, and then and I remember walking in, and I was so young, looking at my mom. I said, I want to go on that. She's okay, go ahead. I was by myself. She didn't want to ride. So I went up there, rode it, and it was fun. It had a kick to it. It had a little bit of kick to it. I'm not going to lie. That had a little bit of a kick to it. But yeah, memories.
What disappoints me, actually, is that I saw its parts at Niagara Amusement Park.
I think
because after Laser Loop, it went to La Ferrera down in Mexico as Cascabel.
It came up here.
And then it went up to Niagara, and it was intended to be built at Niagara. I saw the parts there.
Yeah.
And then they quietly packed it up and shipped it to Indiana Beach.
Well,
so I have seen Laser Loop in person.
What do you think they're going to do? What is your thoughts?
I have no idea, So for me, I'm going to be pretty frank on this. My answer is very easy for this one because it's changed since last interview.
Okay.
Get rid of Black Widow and put back in Pitfall.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of those guys. Because Black Widow, I am sorry, that thing is unreliable.
Although in the last couple of years,
I've had bad luck with this ride.
How many times have you rode it?
I do not remember, but it's been less than 10.
Less than 10, okay.
So it's been very minuscule because, again, my first ride was in 2022, so we're looking at a very small window.
We always joked with Bryce, the Crazy King. Raquel would say, we look over and it's broken. All right, call Bryce and tell him to stay the heck off of it so he doesn't break it again.
Yeah.
Every time he gets
Bryce
on
always says Zamperlud.
Yeah.
And I got that quote from him.
Yeah.
And I use that in my friend group. But I would get rid of Black Widow to put in Pitfall because Pitfall, I'm a drop tower guy.
Drop towers. Yeah, I love the one at Waldemere. That's a great one.
I love drop towers. And the one at Kennywood was massive. Like
it was massive.
300 feet tall. That thing was huge.
I think it was second gen. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it was a second gen. I think it was like 260 feet tall or something.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah. I rode it quite a few times.
Did you like it?
No. Again, this is because, I love drop towers. I love the one at Waldemere, but that one, it seemed to me back then, it took my breath away. It was very quick. Obviously, that's what they're meant to be because you're falling with a lot of weight on pushing down on you. But it took my breath away. I just didn't like that feeling in my chest. Maybe if I would ride it now, I probably might like it. Who knows?
Yeah, and that's something I'm missing from Kennywood because I'm just so used to going down the road, going ride X Scream and not think about it. But now with Pitfall gone, it's like there's a gap in the lineup.
They do. I have to admit, I agree with you. They do need a drop tower. I've been saying that for years. I thought actually when they ripped out the Enterprise that they were going to put a drop tower down there because they were teasing all that stuff, the alien stuff, and I thought, drop tower, boom, up and down.
Invasion, there you go. Yeah. But that's what I would do, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So with that concludes probably the longest episode of Ride on Track ever. My God!
We said that. You know what? Yeah, man. So it's a tradition between us two.
So as a friendly reminder to close out this podcast, where can they find you again so they can follow?
Yeah. So we are doing. I want to say today we're going to go Kennywood Crazy. We're doing our podcast, live podcast on Kennywood Crazy on Facebook. It's called Coasters Coffee. I'm sorry, Coffee and Coasters because Raquel's obsessed with coffee, and you guys can go and check us out on Facebook, Kennywood Crazy. Also, we just recently, over this last winter, started a YouTube channel. It's called Kennywood Crazy. You could go and there's vlogs, there's interviews, there's only a couple of shorts, but I just started working on it with a friend. And I hope to see you in the springtime. We're gonna go ride some Phantom together.
Yeah, if you see Kennywood Crazy in the flesh, tell them that Insane Coaster Junkie sent you.
All right, man.
Down there. So, and thank you so much for being on this podcast. I had a hell of a time with this one. This has been a fun interview. We got to learn a lot more about you, Kennywood, and everything else in between.
All right, God is good all the time. Love each other.
God is good all the time. It is a pleasure. And with that, as they say in Insane Coaster Junkie, Lux Eterna, Inamorata from Zero. We'll see you in the next episode.
All right, God bless.